Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brandon, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Miss Bri.
Hey, everybody.
And we do have some guests, but before we get to introducing them, Bri, what does BBL stand for this week?
Well, considering it is March, and what your challenge is, we have the Baddie Basketball Lunacy.
Yes. Oh, lunacy it is. Lunacy it is. So, but we're going to go to the lunacy later when we talk about the challenge. But I do want to talk about our guests that we had today. I would like to welcome Aaron and Jen from Stormcrow. Hello.
Hi, nice to see you guys.
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, you might need to
Get a little closer.
Yeah, get to the a little closer, almost like you're eating the microphone. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll try mine. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how are y'all doing today?
Doing good. Just finished up the day at the store.
Yeah. Y'all had a lot of people today too. Is it usually this busy on Sundays?
Yeah, most Sundays we have games going on, and then tournaments pretty much every weekend. So
Okay. And then, but there weren't any tournaments today.
Actually, we did a Pokemon League challenge today.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot. But it was for the trading card,
Yes.
not the VGC.
Yeah.
So, because that's how I met you.
Right.
Was through Pokemon VGC, just so that way Bri has that connection. Okay. So.
Thank you.
Yes, we're Pokemon people.
Yes.
But yeah, this one was for the card game. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And did y'all get a lot of turnout?
It was a little bit smaller than normal, but last weekend we had a pre-release and we sold out of 40 spots, so it was a very busy Sunday.
Yeah.
This one was a little smaller. There was some other events going on and things like that, so it was a nice turnout. Everybody was really cool. A lot of new people playing, so that was exciting
good.
to see people getting into it.
Oh, that's good. No, it is great to see like more people slowly getting into like the world of Pokemon, whether it's the game or like the card games. So she actually just got done with her own little Pokemon challenge that she had to do. She had to complete Pokemon Yellow.
Yes. Thank you, Rhino.
Another guest that we had actually got to choose the game in all the challenges that she had to do through a trivia game, which we're going to be doing later. But unfortunately, you don't get that privilege of choosing her challenge. So sorry about that. So let's get into it. So tell me, how did Stormcrow start?
well, it started a long time ago now. I've slept since then, so I don't remember how long.
It'll be officially open 14 years this summer.
14 years this summer.
Very
Wow.
nice.
Wow.
But Aaron's been doing gaming stuff a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I was always into games, mostly Warhammer 40K, painting and going to tournaments and things like that. And I was very active in the community around Lubbock originally at the store back in the day called Challenge Games in the mall. They used to be around for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And so I was kind of their tournament guy. You know, I'd help them run tournaments and we'd do things like that. And then another store opened up called Jasco Games, and they actually had they ended up gaining or buying the rights to the Universe's card game. Back then it was the Universal Fighting System.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that was a card game that was started by Games Workshop under the name Sabretooth Games.
I remember that one.
Then
Okay.
Fantasy Flight picked it up. Then Jasco Jason, he's a tech graduate. He bought the rights to it and started publishing that. And about that time, I was a real estate agent. I was doing, just doing stuff and having fun and doing the gaming stuff as a side thing. But about that time, Challenge Games wanted to decide to kind of move out of the miniature games and the retail aspect and focus just on the paintball store. They had a paintball store and a paintball field out off of 50th Street. And so he wanted to focus on that. And so he was looking for somebody. He said, "Hey, do you want to buy me out? You want to take me out?"
Well, actually, Jasco asked you first.
That's right. And,
Correction.
Yeah. It's like
actually,
Jason approached you first.
Jason did, because he needed to focus on the publisher. Like, it was a whole nother ball game in the gaming world. So it was publishing cards, printing them, getting them distributed, all that stuff.
Oh.
And so he was trying to shut down the retail side, and he had come to me and asked, "Hey, do you want to take over?
I think he'd heard through the grapevine that Aaron always talked about someday having a store.
Right.
Okay.
Ah.
And so I said, yeah, but how am I gonna tell Challenge Games, how hey guys, I'm going to open a store, but I'll still help you run tournaments or or something like that. But then that same exact week, the owner of Challenge Games came and approached me and said, hey, I want to get out of the retail side. And so within that same week, I ended up.
He was like, how am I going to talk to him? How am I going to tell him? And the phone rings and he goes, oh my gosh, it's him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, well, I think I have both there.
Yep. And so we negotiated a deal, and I bought the inventory off of both locations, consolidated into a single retail space. The better of the ones, I guess, or the cheaper of the ones, way back then, and so then that's when Stormcrow was started.
Dove in head first.
Yeah.
Was this the original location where you're at right now?
No, we were on 34th, the first location.
Oh,
so we were
okay.
in a smaller space over on 34th with not as good of parking.
Right. Yeah.
We didn't know at the time mattered as much.
Right. Are you talking about that strip close to Buddy Holly or Holly Hops?
Down further, closer to University. It was
Gotcha.
basically Canton Avenue and 34th.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the Burrito Tower that's been there for 100 million years.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
just been a while since I've been to that part of
Yeah.
Lubbock.
It is now a Indian food market
store.
bazaar
Yeah.
grocery store. So
I think no, never mind. I was like, I think I've been there, but I could be thinking of something else. It's not Merch Masala, is it?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
yeah,
But yeah, they around the time we'd been there for, I don't know, about 3.5, 4 years in that location, and we're starting to really feel it's not big enough. The parking lot was the big issue, because we'd run a tournament and have people come and they need to stay for an entire day playing, 3
Right.
rounds of whatever, and so it didn't bother many of our neighbors until the grocery bazaar moved in next door to us. And he started going like, why won't these cars leave? Like, why are they always here? And we're like, we're sorry, but I don't know what to tell you. There's nowhere else for them to park. Because 34th just doesn't have parking lots,
No.
And it really started to, we realized we could put as much effort, money, time, sweat equity or whatever you want to call it into that space. And we were never going to get another parking spot out of the parking space, And that's about the time we're like, I think it's time to start looking around.
yeah. We were having customers park across 34th Street in the parking lot of the Hair Academy,
Yeah.
the haircut or what is it called? I can't
It's
think.
the Hair Academy where they teach
Yeah.
people how to
okay.
do stuff. But yeah.
Cosmetology school.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, but you'd see them running across with their big old army boxes and stuff.
Dodging cars
trying
on
not to get hit
34th.
by
Yeah.
Lubbock
Real life
drivers.
frogger. That's how
Yes.
you
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. But yeah.
So how did y'all find this location then?
Man, we just drove around. We're looking around and
Well, and
trying to find.
he had been in real estate,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
did know and had helped in his office with commercial stuff. So we knew where to start looking at commercial properties.
Okay.
And looking at costs and space wise and stuff and figuring out. But we looked at a lot of different options, trying to figure out where to move to and what to And it's funny because some places would look really good, but the parking they would let stores claim the however many spots and be like only so and so and whatever. It was like, I don't really want to fight with my neighbors again for
Right.
for spots.
No, and this location that y'all have right now is perfect, especially since a good majority of the parking lot is right in front of your store. So
Yeah, that was one of the things. We talked to the landlord originally. That was our first question. So hey, do we do assigned parking? And he's like, no, I don't let anybody. So it's an open parking lot where you can park in front of whatever store. And
good.
And you can just go wherever, which is good. But yeah, initially when we opened, we only had up until, you can't see it on here, but up until this wall.
About
so
2/3 of the space
we had
that
about
we're in right
2/3.
now.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah,
so
this wall was solid, and yeah, we actually could have had more, but it was going the other direction, and we were scared to rent that much more space. So we built a wall on the other side. We actually blocked ourselves from space on our unit. And then had that rented out. So when we expanded, we actually had to bust through a different wall.
But yeah, now our buddies at Found Gaming are right next door, and they're there.
Yeah,
so.
they're great. Yeah. So
But yeah, so we did that, and that It was March, right before we go to a game manufacturers association trade show every year in March, and we basically signed the lease and then got on a plane and left, and then did the trade show and then came back and then started demo right then. So we ripped out carpets and did all of that on our own. This place was bright yellow and purple.
Yeah, it was Lakers color.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
And it had old, really funky carpet that we knew we're just going to have to go. But
Like the shag carpeting?
no,
or?
it's that low pile, but it just been in there for forever. So it was, and it had been glued to the floor. And so you're trying to just pull and tug and rip. And but I think the coolest thing about us moving was the community was so excited that we needed more space. That, I mean, we, at that time, I think we only had one employee other than us. And the community would just show up. Hey, do you guys need some help? You know, they come over and drive by. Oh, they're in there. And then they come, hey, can I help? And you're like, oh, you want to help pull carpet? And they're like, sure. And you're like,
Why not?
Yeah. And you're like, I don't have a lot to offer, but I will feed you. And so, I mean, they would stop by. We have friends that are electricians and different, you know, stop by and be like, well, hey, you know, I can help with that, or, you know, bust down walls, or, yeah, it was pretty crazy. Even moving all of the stuff from one store to the other, they all show, you know, like a whole bunch of people just showed up to help us load the giant U-Haul so that we could get out of the other space and get over here.
That's awesome,
And you're
though.
like, everybody was just excited. And it was right before we'd almost been 5 years, because we
Okay.
got in here, yeah, in the spring, and then that summer, the end of the summer was our 5-year anniversary, so we threw a huge party and fed everybody.
Oh, but that's awesome. I'm really glad that y'all were able to like have the communities back to be able to get moved in. That's awesome. So now, okay, now you talked about Warhammer earlier. Is that like what the majority of the wooden tables are used for?
Yeah, we have 12 tables for constant play. They're the right size for tournaments. But
Okay.
they're predominantly for mostly Warhammer 40K. That is definitely our biggest game, the most following and the most active players. But any tabletop war game. So there's so many nowadays. But BattleTech and Conquest and things like that. And they range from super sci-fi all the way to, you know, old World War II reenactment to
fantasy,
Yeah.
rank and file.
Yeah, there's
you
a
know.
there's a
Yeah.
little bit for everybody.
But,
So okay, and
like-
that's what like a majority of the figurines and miniatures that are on like that wall are, correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's our terrain wall. So we have free terrain that you can use on any of the tables. You just grab it and put it out, and then put it back when you're done. And 95% of it I assembled and painted myself. So it's an ongoing act of love, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah. It never stops.
No,
It never
yeah.
stops.
Well, when we opened, we really did think we were going to be a strictly like miniature store. That was what Aaron's background in, his hobby. He was super into the painting, so a lot of people would, you know, want him to either paint stuff or wanted him to help them learn how to. And we knew that if the stores that we had been talking to, you know, about taking over, if they went away, that was the community that really had nowhere else to really go. And so we opened focusing on the idea that like we're the miniature shop. We're the miniature shop. But then, you know, community, we're always open. I think all of our direction has been because the community's like, hey, we want this, we want that. And so it's funny because Pokemon is one of our bigger card games.
Right.
But we didn't start off planning to really carry Pokemon, Magic, whatever. We thought we would just focus on miniatures and hobbies. There are other stores in town that we didn't want to like come in and try and be like, you know, we know that they're there and we want to respect that. But then we had groups showing up and saying, hey, why not Pokemon? I was like, I don't know. How about Pokemon? And so then we did. And so, you know, I didn't even grow up around it. I didn't have any background in it, but I had people asking, so I learned how to play. And then pretty soon, you know, we're running events and stuff. So the store now has a more balanced look and feel to it. I mean, it's still, if you look at our tables, you can tell we're a miniature shop because there's a lot of them and not a lot of stores dedicate that much space to a big table. But it didn't start out, you know, we've been pretty, I don't know, we just kind of go with what the community tells us they want and need. And so it's been kind of fun to build it with them instead of being super rigid about like, no, but this is what we do. And it's like, oh,
Right.
we'll do a little bit of whatever anybody wants us to do. But yeah, we really didn't think we were going to have cards and stuff, but now we do singles and we have cards and we, do a little bit of all of it. So
Just a little bit of everything, which is great because you never know if it's going to like work unless you try it out. So like, no, great
yeah.
job. Y'all are doing amazing.
We brought in Gundams and we just kind of, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, apparently people really like Gundams, and so we added that to it, and we've done, a little bit of some stuff. We're actually bringing in LARP weapons. So foam swords, yeah.
Okay.
Because when we go and vend at different events, one of the newer ones in town was a Ren Fair that's put on by Luca. They put on the Hub City Ren Fair.
That was like not too long ago, wasn't
it was
October.
So they had their first one and then their second one, and then this year in October will be the third one.
Okay.
But we noticed that lots of cool art vendors, lots of cool crafts and artisans and stuff, but nobody was selling foam swords, so we could all run around, And so we saw at that trade show that we go to, there was a vendor, and we thought that would be fun. And that's not something everybody's doing, and so we're going to add that as part of kind of D&D and LARP and stuff.
Okay.
See how that goes. So
Yeah. The Midland store has gotten their stock, and now I'm super jealous because he posted pictures and they look really super cool. So I have to wait 2 more days for the rest of it to show up in Lubbock. So
well, not too much longer. But I'm glad that you brought up the Midland store because I also want to ask, how did that store get started? Like, what made y'all decide to go to Midland?
Well, that was kind of another just, let's see if it'll work. Oh my goodness, it's working, And so we had an employee, a former employee. He had worked here a long time, real good guy, but moved to Midland and got a real job for a while.
A real job. This isn't a real job.
No, but we joke around with our
have as
guys.
much fun as this is. Come on.
Exactly,
We joke around with our guys that sometimes you got to go get a grown-up job, but
he moved to Midland, got married, had a kid, and did, kind of moved on and everything. And but then COVID hit and actually kind of shut down where he was working. And he called and he said, hey, had you been looking? And I had kind of been, toying with the second location. I was actually thinking of a second location in Lubbock, like a west side or something like that. But, had you thought about Lubbock? And I was like, well, no, I really hadn't. And we were real big.
Talk about Midland, yeah.
Yeah, in Midland, yeah. I hadn't thought about going there, but do some research. Here's my access for the stuff that I still had access to for real estate. Go look up some properties and see if they even look good. And we were in the middle of LubbockCon at that time because it was February, and I told them, look, I am busy with that. After February, when I'm done, I'll drive down there and we'll look around and we'll see if we can find a space that looks good and is in the right dollar numbers. We'll take a shot at it. And then I talked to him about, are you willing to be my store manager down there? This is what I can offer you, and this is what kind of growth we can look at. And if we hit these numbers, then we can do these things and things like that. And February 28th, because the LubbockCon is the last weekend of February every year, I get done with that, and then that next, I think it was that Monday after LubbockCon, I drove down to Midland. And we drove around, and we found a location. And we looked at it, and I said, "Man, this is pretty good. I like the space. I did not like the number, but that's Midland real estate.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But being in real estate for a long time, I said I'm gonna shoot them an offer. I'm gonna see if they'll take something. And so a couple weeks of back and forth between their agent and myself, and kind of haggling some numbers and stuff. We shot them a really, really good for us offer. And
it got kind of quiet on their end. So we were like, "Ooh, I guess we'll just see.
We'll just let the universe decide." And and then we get a call Monday. Yeah, they'll take the offer. Oh my goodness,
we're opening another
awesome.
location. It was like, because we kept saying, like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It wasn't meant to be right now. If it works out, it works out. And then it's like, shoot, we better make this work out, because we just got into an agreement for a space.
I knew they were not going to take that offer. I knew they were not going to take that offer, but they did. And Then it became okay. I'll have him. I'll go ahead and put him on payroll. Got him back on. Got him going, and then he'd work during the week at the new store, demoing out walls, and the place we were in, what used to be a daycare.
Oh.
And so they had kind of like sequestered off little weird
stuff. Yeah.
and stuff like that. And so we got in there and got that all knocked out. And then I'd go up on the weekends. I'd go up on Friday and I'd spend the weekend there all day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doing all that, getting everything ready, ordering everything. And then I want to say that was the second week in March, we finalized everything, and then May 1st we were open.
Yeah.
So it was
pretty quick.
days. Yeah.
That was like super fast.
Yeah. We seem to either like I said, just throw it out there and see what happens.
Right.
Aaron has got the what's the worst that could happen, right? They could say no.
Yep.
And if I was left to my devices, we'd still be writing a business plan. So I at least temper it a little bit with like some number crunching and making sure, like, hold on.
Right.
Because he's already like, send an offer. And I'm like, oh, well, okay.
I'm very much a business guideline.
And I think that's why we work so well together. Actually, when the first time when they got approached by, would you want to buy us out? Would you want to start getting into the real estate or into the retail side of things? We had to decide if we were going to, if this is going to be Aaron's thing, if this is going to be us thing, a family, where was it? At the time, I was a stay-at-home mom with two little bitty guys. Our youngest was 3, our oldest was 6, and Aaron was doing real estate, and I was kind of, I had worked bookkeeping and stuff like that before then for another local business. And so we had some really, because a lot of people have asked us, like, how do you work with your husband all the time? Like, how does it work when you have to go home with people that you work with? And I was like, I don't know. We had a real heart-to-heart conversation about which things we're good at, which things we're not good at, where we'd struggle, and kind of just, well, then you'll be in charge of that. And obviously we'll have discussions, but at the end of the day, that's your call. And then there were things that, like, Aaron doesn't really care about which point of sale we use or which bookkeeping software we,
right.
And so it was like, well, then, obviously we'll have discussions and make sure things, aren't feeling too out, one-sided, but I'll make those calls and I'll decide when, we're making systems and things like that. And I don't know, I think that's probably why it's worked out for so long, because we didn't just we'll see what happens, because on that part of it we had to be like, all right, well, who's in charge of what, so that there's no hurt feelings when Aaron doesn't bring in all the Pokemon that I wanted and he brings in something else.
Right?
Oh boy.
But like the biggest thing, it's all about communication, whether you're like around that other person like 24/7, like, because that's kind of the situation that I am with my roommate, because we live together but we also work together, so I see him every day, all day. But it's all about communication. Just be like, I need a break from you, or like, all right, we need to set a time to like actually talk about things. So no, I get it. It can be frustrating sometimes, but no. And from what I've seen, granted, I have not been to your store very often, and I do apologize about that.
Well, we don't have a lot of the video game
I know.
side of things.
You're so demanding, Brandon.
I mean, I'm bossy, yes, but I
just keep going.
I'm trying. So, but no. Oh my gosh. But okay, so you said that y'all like have two boys, and that, do they help out a lot? Because I know that Quinn does like a lot of messages on the Discord every Friday. So just like announcing what's going on during the weekend.
Yeah.
So, when they were little, like I said, Quinn was old enough to be in school. So when we started, it was, that was part of the agreement too, was like, who's going to stay at the store, who's going to go home with kids, and so there were nights that we would trade off so he would get a break from being stuck at the store and stuff like that. But they grew up here. When the little one got into D&D, we had to remind him that not everybody knows what D&D is. So the way you're telling the stories as like a 5-year-old talking about like throwing swords and doing, I was like, gotta set some some context, because the little grandma over there looks a little concerned about, So they've always been kind of around, and they'd pitch in here and there, and they definitely got into playing and playing Pokemon and playing stuff like that and getting into it with us. But recently, we've actually brought them on as employees.
Okay.
So when you see Quinn posting, that's actually part of his job description is that he's my event. He helps us get events going and stuff like that, and share and make sure they're posted in the right places and things like that. And then learning the counter. He's a very quiet, reserved kiddo, and so a lot of those things he enjoys kind of being a little bit more behind the scenes. But he does really like being at the counter talking cards with people because he is very into Pokemon cards. And then our youngest, I swear, from the moment he could say hi, everybody, we used to joke around that we didn't want to teach him our phone number or address because he was probably going to tell everybody in the world. But he would greet people. He's like 4. You'd walk in and he'd go, "Hi, do you know how to play?" Whatever he was excited about. And he's like, "'Cause I could teach you," and you're like, "Go for it, buddy." But yeah, and so as soon as he was old enough to put on payroll, he wanted to also be able to work and stuff. And so he works after school. He's still in high school, so he's that's still a priority. And he's got some after school stuff, but yeah. And then he doesn't play Pokemon anymore. He's too cool for that.
He's doing Lorcana, right?
No, he is a Universus. So the game that kind of got all this kicked off because they started publishing it, and Jason stepping out of Jasco Games retail into publishing had multiple I guess kind of
company changes,
reiterations and stuff, but yeah, so it's now called Universus, but it has a very local or very loyal local group here because they all remember it being the thing that was here,
right?
That literally was just right over there, kind of thing happening in office and even distribution. And so my younger one, he absolutely loves that game and is pretty good at it. So he really enjoys it.
Yeah, because he went to a tournament. You took him, Aaron, right? Back in
Jennifer took him, but it was the World Champions.
Well, we took him to Dallas for his first big tournament outside the store, and he came in 7th, which earned him a World's invite.
Oh, that's really cool.
So
that's awesome.
A little bit of that beginners, just I don't know, everything's working, and so he got to go to Orlando and play in Worlds.
When was that?
It was just early February, because it was literally the week or two before Lubbock Con.
Yeah.
And I was like, this could not be the worst time, but I wasn't going to make him miss it. Yeah, because when Lubbock Con comes around, I mean, we're all hands on deck. So I had to be like, well, I guess we're gonna
right. We're
gonna take a little break and then come right back.
But he did really well at both locations. He didn't top in Worlds, but that's Worlds, and but he got a lot of high praise from a lot of the other world class. The guy who won Worlds last year was talking a lot about his deck and how he composed himself and things like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
But that still his first time, still getting there, to that point, and then having so many people that had been playing forever, complimenting. That's awesome. Good job. Good job.
He had a great time. So.
Oh, good. Well, I think we now need to transition to Lubbock Con because that is another big thing. You've already talked about it a few times.
Yeah, we've dropped it a few times. Yeah.
Now, Jen, you've already told me how it kind of got started, quote unquote. But go ahead, tell us, how did y'all get involved in Lubbock Con?
So, when one of the first things we looked at when we first started opening was there used to be a Comic-Con show. It wasn't West Texas, was it?
I don't remember exactly what they called it, but it was basically done alongside the Arts Festival. Yeah. So the Arts Festival would be happening at the Civic Center on the base floor, and there's a little upstairs area that's called the mezzanine area, and they used to put the comics up there along with the comic artists and writers and stuff and do their own little mini con above the Arts Festival. But I don't know, because we weren't involved in that one. We went to it multiple times, but I don't know exactly how long it ran up there.
Yeah, because it was Star Comics, who's been around forever, and our now good friend Robert.
Yeah.
Over there. I tried to hunt him down, is what it was. I was trying to get a hold of him to say, hey, I could add some gaming to your Comic-Con. You know, what could we do? What could we put? We could put some tournaments. We could do painting. We could do something. Unbeknownst to me at the time, the arts festival and the Comic-Con, they were kind of feeling out where each of those organizations was going, and I don't know that it was as conducive at that point. And so I finally cornered him at the United Market Street and said, I know you, and say, hey, I want to talk to you about Comic-Con. Like, you know, what's the plans? Is it going forward? How can I get involved? How can I help? What can I do? He gave me his contact information, and we kind of parted ways at that point. And then a few weeks later, Danae, so she kind of came in as another member of our little starting committee, and she was a big
she was kind of the catalyst.
Okay.
She was the catalyst because she started just going to everybody,
right,
and being
so
like, why aren't you guys doing something?
And so she offered to host kind of a meet and greet at her house, between Robert at Star Comics, myself, and a couple other people that had been involved with the Comic-Con.
And like the 501st people, and just anybody who had kind of, you know, an organized aspect already, so either a store or a costuming group or something. So she's trying to find the people that she could pull together.
And so we met in her living room, and we talked about it. And I think at that point the Comic-Con had kind of started dwindling a little bit. It was a lot. They weren't getting a lot of support.
Some of the people involved, I think, had also moved to other places, and so there just wasn't the same network for that particular event. And
so, but I think being able to see that there was a room full of people that wanted to make something happen, kind of reignited that. And then, like I said, Jennifer and myself were kind of a driving force on that. And so, I said, just, whatever we need to do, let me know, and we'll do it, and we'll put what we can into it. I know gaming. I don't know a ton about comics. I mean, I know comics. I'm definitely a comic fan, but I couldn't tell you, who wrote what in 65 or whatever. But no. So we kind of came up with a plan, and the thing we decided at the very beginning is that we wanted it to be something for the community. This was not just supposed to be something where all the stores get together and sell a bunch of stuff. That's what usually ends up happening, and that's what kind of has to pay the bills. But we wanted this to be something that was a community organization. And so pretty much right off the bat, we looked at starting a nonprofit organization that was a pop culture organization to actually bring pop culture awareness to Lubbock and the surrounding areas, and kind of really with that focus of past us.
Yeah, we called it alternative arts, right? So like the comics, the cosplays, the painting miniatures, and then the general pop culture, just fandoms and the community that grows up around those, and celebrating all of that. And so we didn't want to be specific to gaming or specific to comics or even horror or, whatever you were into. We wanted it to be like whatever the community is excited about and wants to share and embrace, we want it to be able to be there. And so the nonprofit just made sense. That way everybody was basically equally invested in it. And so, Erin joined the board of the nonprofit. And right off the bat, I think I did. I was the treasurer for. I've worn a lot of hats. I think I was treasurer first.
Well, it was very much myself and some of the other guys there were very much ready, fire, aim types, and then so Jennifer is very much a ready, aim forever.
At some point, somebody kicks me over the edge, and I go, okay.
But
it has to be a plan, but we also have to execute.
Exactly. But it's not the perfect plan.
Yeah, we needed somebody to organize for us and kind of put it together, and we found that, and so we kind of had that perfect little A team go together, and then we set our date, and
we fundraised like crazy.
We had nerd prom and
geek garage sales, bake sales at farmers markets. I made Wookiee cookies. We showed up at anything and everything that they would let us. It was a huge. We marched in the parades.
That's cool.
And so, like the 4th of July parade, we had a float with a bunch of superheroes on the back, and we tried to just raise awareness and put together what we could. The big thing was that we picked the idea of having it in February because we wanted it to be ahead of the Comic-Con like craziness.
Oh yeah.
Because once you get into about March, April, spring break, all of these start happening all over. And so, you know, the Dallas cons, but also a lot of the West Coast stuff and everything. And so we
like
thought...
the big ones like San Japan, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just... And it's definitely grown since then. It's because we're coming up on 10 years.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah,
wow.
this next 2026 will be the 10-year it won't be the 10th show because of the COVID years,
Yeah.
but it is the 10th year for LubbockCon. And we...
Because y'all were at least able to do like LubbockCon before the lockdown.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. February of 2020, we held our biggest show up to that point.
Right.
And hand sanitizer everywhere. And we knew enough, but we weren't quite to that point.
By that point, it was still very much East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you know, I don't think it had gotten past Utah at that point. And so we felt fairly confident about running it. But
there was a lot of, buzz of what things might be coming and everything. But we managed to squeeze it in that last weekend in February in 2020. And that was our biggest show. So we had built up, over the years doing that. But it's been a process, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Of
and
learning.
our first show was on the same weekend
That's right.
as the Lubbock Pancake Festival.
Oh,
And
no.
so,
Jen did tell me about
Yeah.
this.
That
Oh.
Well, because in our heads, we're like, we want to put on this little con, we want to give it a go and see how it works. And so we're like, okay, we want to be in February. What weekends are available? We go and meet at the Civic Center and start talking. And the way the Civic Center works, you can rent individual spaces. So you can rent the big hall, you can rent the banquet hall, you can rent the classrooms, all of it separate, and you have to decide when you go down there how much of the building you want to reserve. And if you don't, they will let somebody come in right next to you.
Yeah.
Because
And
that space wasn't paid
we
for.
were that somebody.
And we were and we really believed that it wouldn't be that big of a deal. We're going to pop up in the banquet hall, they're in the big hall. We even, and trying to be, good neighbors, we were like, we'll, reach out ahead of time. We will help manage your line going through the main hall, because we're going to use the classrooms for some panel rooms. We're going to be over here for some vendor, and then upstairs is going to be gaming, and it'll be cool because we'll entertain them while they're walking and waiting for pancakes.
Well, I mean, the 501st did great. They had Star Wars stormtroopers helping out little kids. And
Oh, man.
Spider-Man was playing with kids in line and stuff.
We didn't realize how many people were excited and ready for this. And I mean, part of me is like, we should have given ourselves more credit. We spent all year out at all these events telling people and trying to, but
Hindsight's 2020.
Right.
but we hit fire code for the vendor hall that we had. And so we had to click out people. And so you have the line, and then you have a backlog of people trying to get into the room. And so we're trying to send them. We sent them upstairs. Gaming got swamped once that happened because we just kept going, well, upstairs is more stuff. Go upstairs. And it was an interesting year. Almost immediately after that show, I'm pretty sure the Lions Club went down and reserved the entire building for the next year to make sure we couldn't do it again.
I think the next 10 years.
Yeah.
They just said, don't let
They made
anybody
sure
else
nobody else could, and and we were like, we're so sorry, we did the best we could. And so, we went on the weekend after Pancakes after that to make sure that we had a whole weekend for us. But the second year was a little weird. We ended up doing a Memorial Day because we couldn't quite get the weekend in February.
Yeah.
But then after that, it had grown to the point that we could go to 2 days and take over the big hall.
Oh, that's cool.
And now we rent out the whole place too because we need
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
But that's awesome just to see like where it started and where it's at now. Like, it's made so much progress. Like, I've seen all the Instagram stories and everything like on Facebook, and it's just like, it's amazing. There was someone that dressed up as a Growlithe.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Sorry,
Okay.
I was like, my brain did not. There's so many things that could be at like LubbockCon, and I'm like, wait, what category are we under?
Yeah. Back to Pokemon.
Yes.
There seems to be a common theme.
Yeah, I should know this by now, but I'm over here like, I heard Star Wars. I know there's games. Yeah, so yes, I'm back.
She's just quite relieved that she is done with her challenge.
I'm so relieved. Okay,
Yeah.
you guys love Pokemon. No. I'm sorry. I suffered through the game. Not suffered. I did the game, and
She survived.
I don't want to do
right.
anymore.
And I'm good for now. Yeah. Yeah, no, the talent in Lubbock. I mean, honestly, if you think about like our First Fridays and stuff like that, like there's just a ton of talent here. And
True. Yeah.
in the cosplay world is no different. And so you have these events and these people come out and you're like, you made this in like on your dining room table with foam and epoxy and whatever and it looks
The detail,
phenomenal. Yeah.
the detail that they put into it. Like, I really want to know how long it took that person that was the Growlithe. Like, how long did it take
she
them?
ended up winning the costume contest.
I saw.
And so, and the way some people thought she bought the costume, and so they were a little grumbly because you're not supposed to enter, because it's a craftsmanship type thing. But we have prejudging where they individually go in with the judges, and the judges get to really like look it over, ask them lots of questions about how the process and everything, and then we go over to the stage and do the actual kind of show. So I was like, anybody that's grumbling, we do have, ways that they've made sure, but no, she made that thing all by herself. That whole thing, and so that's really, it's really impressive. It's insane. We have a friend, the first few years, he made an entire Iron Man suit, and it looked amazing. And we drug him out anytime we could get him to put it on and come out and stand on at parades and at fundraisers and garage selling.
You're like, you were coming. Thank you very much.
We had one of our board members, founding members, he was in the 501st, and man, he'd put on a stormtrooper everywhere we went, and then we'd drag out Iron Man anytime we could get him to come. So it was kind of, we had our go-tos. But
You got to show off the good stuff.
Right?
You really do. So, but no, that's awesome. Now, even though y'all were working it, did y'all at least get to dress up?
we don't usually dress up for that event. One, so that you can tell staff, and that way for security purposes, you want to make sure that it's pretty obvious that who's in charge and who can answer questions and who can also tell somebody to stop doing something.
This random person that was dressed up like Superman told me not to. I have to listen to them.
Why is Leia telling me to get off the table?
Right. I don't think you have any authority here. Well, actually, I do. But yeah, and so we usually don't for those, but back when we were doing a lot of the other events for LubbockCon, we did do the nerd prom and stuff, and so we did a prom style Cyclops and Phoenix, and we've done some stuff like that for fun.
That's cute.
We were really watching. We watched a lot of the Viking TV show, and so for one of the proms, we went as Vikings, and that's where Aaron's beard started. And then it never. Well, I guess the beard you had before, but the growing out the hair on top and braiding it was for nerd prom, and then he just never stopped.
So wait, is nerd prom still a thing that y'all have been doing?
We haven't done one in a while. The first few years we did a couple, as kind of just something fun to do on an off part. If we're doing LubbockCon in February, we try and do things along the way. And then we got really busy with as LubbockCon itself grew, a lot of the other stuff that we had been doing, we just didn't have as much staff and people to do it. But it's something we've talked about bringing back off and on. So if the right place showed up, if the right, timing worked out. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun to do,
We're kind of in the crossroads because we want it to be inclusive for everybody, and so a lot of times the nerd prom tends to be at a bar, and then so now you have to, it kind of has to be a 21 and up, but we've been, can we do a dry prom or something where we can have the youngers come out and do some cool stuff, or do we do an after hours or whatever? So it's just kind of logistics and things like that of trying to figure out how we can get everybody to have fun and do stuff. And then, she keeps saying staff, but everybody who's there is all volunteers. Yeah. It's not, I mean, they're
only staffed by the fact that they have an assigned space.
Nobody's actually
you stand
paid.
here, you do this, that makes you staff.
This is your area. You're in charge of it. Good luck. You're staff now. Yeah. But the entire group, from the person, signing contracts all the way down, everybody is volunteering. There hasn't been a person that got paid to do anything for LubbockCon since the inception. So it really just speaks volumes to the fact that everybody involved is giving for the community, is excited about doing it for the community. It always floors me, even as Stormcrow. Every year we've done the gaming area, And there's things that as the store we can sponsor and do. So we buy the banners and we decorate and we make it look nice and whatever. But we could not put as many things into that area for activities. So the painting of the miniatures, demoing games, running D&D groups, whatever. It all relies on volunteers saying they want to come out, and every year they get excited too. Like everybody's excited leading up to it. The very first year, we really didn't know what to expect. Again, we were in a weird kind of piecemealed across the Civic Center. And I just remember, I don't know how many people we had. They were all in neon yellow shirts. So you'd see them, and it's like, that's the Stormcrow crew, right? All these volunteers. And we did this thing called Passport to Gaming to try and encourage people to go do it. Because, again, we didn't know how to, will people like it? I don't know. And so we made these little cards, and you would go and you'd demo Pokemon. You get a stamp. You go over here and you play some miniature game and you get a stamp. You go, Okay,
that sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
And if you got enough of them, you came down and you got a little goodie bag, and it might have a promo card. It might have some little, a dice and stickers and things. And it got people excited about it. But when they got swamped up there, they were just talking and demoing until their voices were going away. One of our D&D DMs lost his voice. Oh no. And that one was only a single day. That was just Saturday. So it was a pretty long day because we didn't get out of there until later than normal for now that we do 2 days. And I was helping with tear down and stuff like that. So the Stormcrow crew had torn down, packed up, brought all of our stuff back in various cars and whatever. Aaron had ordered food and gotten it to the store and everything, but I didn't know when I got done and headed to the store what to expect. They didn't want to go home. Everybody was sharing stories, whether it was exciting stories that somebody got super excited about the game that you're excited about and you got to share that with them, or whether it was some of the I couldn't get this person to, But it was all this camaraderie, and it made me cry because I walked in and I was like, why are you guys still here? You've given us all day. You've lost your voice. You've just, been giving of yourself, and now you're but I don't want to go home. I'm going to stay here until you guys kick us out. And so every year it just floors me that so many people, I always joke around, I was we all drink the Kool-Aid apparently, because we're just and just having them out there and everything has been pretty amazing. But it really is just it's a cool thing when you start really thinking about it, because you're they either want more people to play their game, they want to just have a chance to share the cool things that they get to do, if it's painting and stuff like that. They just want to, share that. And then when it comes to the staff for Lubbock Con, or the volunteer staff for Lubbock Con, they are giving their whole weekend. They're there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and usually just running around like crazy. And then, it's funny because I feel about Friday, everybody's oh no, here we go, and so there's that almost I don't know if I can do this again, I don't know, maybe next year I'm not gonna, and then we get done with it and almost everybody's so next year.
It's that was awesome, right? I can't wait till next year.
It's funny, it's if you ask somebody on the Thursday, Friday before, they're not sure about next year. And then, as soon as Sunday, Monday, everybody's so here's my ideas for next year. Here's what we can do. And you're oh, so you're still on board. And, well, yeah, that was awesome. I don't know, we're all crazy, but.
But it takes people like that to, that have that passion to really help make things work, whether it's insane behind the scenes or not. It takes people with that passion that just want to help others have a good time and enjoy what they enjoy.
Yeah.
So, no.
I always joke, my favorite thing is watching nerds have nerd fun. It's I don't have to be into whatever they're into. I'm just excited to watch them be excited. And I think that's what, I don't know, that's probably the coolest thing about getting to have the store, getting to be involved with Lubbock Con, just how our life has shaped up, is that our job is to help people have a good time and connect with other people.
And y'all probably see thousands of people like that every day.
Yeah, Aaron always tells the employees here, he's like, we're like a nerdy tour guide. So when somebody comes in and they're kind of trying to figure out if this is something for them, we're basically walking around like, well, over here we have the miniature games. And does that intrigue you? Over here we have card games, and then we walk them around in this area and here's this community, here's that community. But
the gateway nerds.
Yeah. Right.
Well, and that's kind of the thing that we do, and I stress to my employees is that we'll actually walk you over to the community if they're there. You come in and say, "Hi, I'm here for Pokemon." Oh, actually, they're playing over here. Come follow me, and then we will introduce you because usually, that's the stumbling point. Most gamers are not going to go insert themselves, and then we just kind of come in like a wrecking ball and just say, "Hey, this is a new player. Here you go. Here's his, there's their name. There's their, what they're playing and." You guys can jump them in, and most of our guys are 100%. They're like, oh yeah, another one. We got somebody else.
There's another one.
Yes, bigger tournaments. Or
I can get more games in because now there's more people. Yeah,
and then they just kind of take off from there, and so it's really good. It really is being that introducer, kind of bridging the gap there. So
yeah, the first one's free.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
So, all right. Well, I think that's where we're going to cut it off. We're going to take a small break. And then when we get back with you two, Jen and Aaron, we're going to do our own little trivia game. So we'll be back in just a bit.
So now we get to talk about challenges.
That is right. We are. This is the break between the interview and the trivia game. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to be talking about the challenges. Miss Bri, go ahead, take it away.
So, do you want to start with the lunacy? That is March Madness. Or do you want to go ahead and start with your Pokemon?
Your choice, honestly.
Okay. Well, I've got the brackets here. So you were supposed to fill out a bracket for the men's
and the women's.
And
yes.
the women's.
And I have not gotten it filled out. I've had it. I've been meaning to do it at
Mm-hmm.
work. Just we're getting busy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know that's not an excuse because I've also been bringing it home with me.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's also one of those out of sight, out of mind situations. So
I could just text you like every hour and say, "Hey, fill out a bracket." Hey,
I mean, honestly, yeah. So
okay, I might try that tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay. So you're going to be starting on the Sweet 16.
Okay. That's right. Because we're at that point now.
Yeah, we've played the round of 64 and the round of 32.
It's gone by really fast.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
So it's literally like 12 hours straight of basketball on the first and second days of the tournament because you've got 32 games because you have 64 teams.
Right.
And so I know Tech because I was watching them. I think they played the last game of the night. And so they started at like 9:30 and I think it ended at like midnight and they had tipped off at like 11 or 12. And
when last year or
no, this for the round of 64. This year. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Thursday night I was like, okay, I'm going to lay in bed and put it on my computer. And I think I missed the last like 2 minutes of the game because I was in and out of dozing.
Oh, yeah. I feel you on that one. So
which games did you watch? Because that was the other part. It was you're supposed to watch one per round.
Right. And I don't even know if one of those needs to really count as a round, technically.
So you're talking the first four, right?
I'm talking about the first four. Because I saw the Alabama versus St. Francis.
Okay, so yeah.
But I only saw like the first half because like that's when I only got to do like what the app would let me do because I don't have it. Like a provider, so yeah.
Right, but we got that figured out.
Yeah, we got that figured out for both of my devices that I will be watching, quote unquote, because I've been doing it while I'm working out or like meal prep.
Okay. So
it's more like listening, not even.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I mean, I get that too. I do that plenty. So, did you watch a game during the round of 64? So that would have been Wednesday and Thursday.
I guess not.
Okay.
But I didn't know that they were doing the games then because like the games because I saw the Tech game. That was what, yesterday?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I saw the Tech game But apparently that was already round 2.
Yeah. So Wednesday, Thursday, and on the bracket actually tells you the days.
Right. No, I saw that. No, I just saw that while you were like updating your stuff. Like I just saw that. I had no idea.
Sorry. Okay. Well, so you didn't. So I wasn't expecting you to watch a first 4 game. So in all honesty, I'll count that as your first round.
Okay.
Because I wasn't expecting the first 4 to get watched. So,
well, because
kudos to you.
Well, that's the only one that I really like knew, or like that was the first one that I knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's also weird that I don't know. Either way. So, but yes, I did see at least 2 games. It was the Alabama State and St. Francis. It was just the first half.
Right.
And then I saw the second half of the Tech versus, I think, Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bulldogs. So those were the 2 games that I saw.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. So I do have questions for you.
Oh, God.
So I have a little bit of a quiz
right.
based on what you watched, because you did tell me.
Because I'm trying to at least stay honest.
So, based on your viewing, how many free throws did Alabama State shoot in the first half of their game against St. Francis?
The free throws.
The free throws. Because they made a really big deal about this as they were going into halftime.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember a lot, but again, this was whenever I was working out. So, oh God, okay, clarification question. Are you talking about like how many times they actually win it, or how many like shots they actually made?
How many shots they shot, how many free throws they stood at the line to shoot.
Okay. This is more just a guess because, again,
So you were distracted.
I was working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, they were making a pretty big deal about this towards the end of the half, and then also like at the halftime show, whenever they started it.
Halftime show.
Yeah.
It's not. Is it really just a halftime show if they're just sitting at a table, like basically doing what we're doing? We're talking about the game.
Yes,
that is not a halftime show.
Okay, well, it's the discussion that happens in halftime.
The halftime discussion. Halftime discussion.
What is your guess?
For some odd reason, I want to say 6.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, 6 is the first thing that pops up.
Okay, they actually didn't shoot any.
They didn't shoot any.
Nope.
Okay.
And they were only down maybe by like 6 points or something like that. So they were like, oh, well, this is a good thing. Like if I'm in their shoes, I'm okay with this. Because they were really close to the team, and then also hadn't shot any free throws.
Right.
So they actually ended up winning that game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they played Auburn in the round of 64. Okay. So second question. Based on that first game.
Okay.
Who is the mascot for St. Francis University?
Oh, I know this one because I thought it was so funny. Oh, wait. Or was this one? It's a friar. I don't remember his name, but like he's a friar.
Yeah.
Like Friar Fred or something like that. I don't know. But either way, like I know he's a friar.
Okay, I thought you would remember that one. So it's Frankie the Friar.
Frankie the Friar. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I was almost there with the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they said that during halftime too, and I was like, oh, because I didn't watch as much of the first half of that one as you did. I was doing something else.
It wasn't even like.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that they had talked about it. Like he just popped up, and it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He looks so stupid.
A lot of mascots do, and then you have other ones, and you're like, "Oh my god, that's terrifying."
It's like, why are kids not scared of this? Like,
right? Some of them love the mascots.
Right? Oh God.
Oh man, have you been introduced to Gritty?
Yes, I do
Okay,
know Gritty.
yes.
Yes. I love whoever is in that suit. Oh my gosh, they have given Gritty the best personality. Oh, I love that.
I mean, you do love chaos.
Yes.
But as
Oh
far
my
as
gosh.
terrifying looking mascots, I think that one's pretty up there.
Really, I disagree.
I would have been freaked out.
I disagree.
Still freaks me out, actually.
Gritty does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, sorry. Back to the questions.
Back to the question. Back to reality.
So, who did Texas Tech beat to advance to the Sweet 16?
Drake.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, you said that earlier, and I was like, oh, you know an answer. Woo-hoo!
Yay! I knew two.
Half.
Really? Really?
Okay, so then the last question. So I sent you this video, and it's actually in several places on social media and on the internet right now. But what did a referee do to allow a sub to come in at the end of a game?
Wait, when did you send me this video?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay. I was like, I did not get any videos from you today.
No, it wasn't today.
Okay. Yes, I did see that video. It was weird because it was just like the guy was like cleaning the floor, like, and then told the sub to come in and all that. It was kind of, I've never seen anyone do that, or at least not a ref.
Yeah.
So, but yes.
So yeah, he pretended to wipe that he stopped gameplay and then pretended to wipe up a wet spot on the floor to allow the guy to sub in.
Okay.
So,
So he used a fake wet spot to allow a sub to come into the game. I mean, smart, but weird.
So since it's a one and done tournament, especially like if there's no way for somebody to come back and win, like I think there was like 40 seconds left or something in the game.
Okay.
And so a lot of times, like they'll if they know that they're not going to win, they'll put in some people from the bench that like just to get him in the game.
Wait, was that the Tech game?
No, that wasn't the Tech game.
Oh,
No.
okay. I was like, I don't remember anything about
No.
that happening at the game.
No.
All right, never mind.
But I'm
Okay.
I guess maybe they didn't have any timeouts. Maybe there wasn't a dead ball, and so it looked like the guy had been sitting on the sidelines waiting to go into the game for a little while. So it was kind of like a nice, cute, heartfelt thing. Is what it's being taken as. Is like, oh well, we'll let him get in the game so he can have some minutes in the tournament.
Right.
Yeah, because they were not gonna win.
No.
So
okay.
but yeah,
See, I knew some stuff.
you did.
I knew some stuff.
Yeah. And so
Kind of sad that you didn't ask about like one of the St. Francis players, because they're one of them was from Australia.
Oh, okay.
And I guess there was still snow on the ground at the place that they were having the game, because they were making comments about how like he had never seen snow before or something like that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, see, I did pay attention.
What?
I know, especially since like apparently one of the players, don't remember if it was Alabama. I don't remember which team, but apparently like it might have been from the St. Francis team. They were playing in like his home area, like where he was from.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So there's actually a lot of stories like that come across. I know that one of the guys on Tech's team, when they played Drake yesterday, like he transferred from Drake.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And actually the head coaches between Tech and Drake, they're like best friends.
Yeah. No, they showed a picture of them like going out fishing.
On a fishing trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I mean they all worked on the same staff previously.
Yeah.
And there's actually the game that immediately followed Tech's game at that location was Houston and Gonzaga. And so that doesn't make sense. But that's definitely what happened.
No.
Anyway, so I might have stated that wrong. No, I didn't. Because the guy's from Houston. It's okay. Anyway, so I was listening to this part on the radio.
Okay.
But one of the guys on Houston's team actually just transferred from Tech to Houston.
Okay.
And so he actually came by the announcers or the media table And
It wasn't Hawkins that ended up flying into the
no, it
little media.
was not Hawkins. Oh man, I was like, oh no, he's gonna fall. But the
He's-
announcers caught him. We're great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Well, two of them.
Yeah, the other one didn't move at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was their contribution to like the conversation.
Yeah, they're very stoic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was Malik Wilson who plays currently for Houston. He used to play for Tech, and he actually came over and said hi and like talked to the radio guys a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, "Oh, we love this guy. Like it was so great to have him and see him." And so yeah, just fun fact. And there's actually at least one other player that I know of that used to play for Tech, and he is still in the tournament as well. And he plays for Michigan. His name is Vladislav Golden.
Oh, okay.
So he's one of their big guys in the middle. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting to see. You didn't watch any like major upset games.
No,
So-
those were the only two games that I saw.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do we do?
This is your challenge.
I know.
Like I at least came up with details and works like at
Well,
the beginning.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I'm just trying to think because I'm gonna say I kind of want you to watch 2 games in the Sweet 16 and
Gross.
a game for the Elite 8.
I was gonna have to watch a game for the Elite Eight.
I know, but I'm gonna add another game because you didn't finish all of your games for the first 2 rounds. Or well, you didn't get all the questions right. There we go. That's what it is. Yeah.
You're changing up your own rules.
Yes, I am. It's fine. It'll be over before you know it. You've got like 2 weeks left. It's okay.
I hope so. Oh, okay. So Final Four is like, it's gonna be that weekend right after. Well, is that the weekend? I think it is. It's gonna be the weekend after I close on the house.
Yep.
That'll be exciting. Oh, and then it'll be that first Monday
Yep.
for that final game. We did talk about that.
Yeah, because the national championship is always on a Monday,
Right.
which really stinks sometimes because you're like, oh, I got to stay up late. I want to stay up late, but I got to go to work tomorrow.
I know. Let's see. So wait, so the Sweet 16 goes from the 27th to the 28th. Wow, it's literally just those 2 days.
Yes.
What days are those?
That should be Thursday and Friday.
Double checking. 27, 28 is what we said, right? Yeah. So that is Thursday, Friday. And then the Elite 8 would be the Saturday, Sunday. Oh my goodness. Why are you doing this to me?
Hey, at least it's only like a month long thing and not like
This is
6
true.
months long.
This is true.
Okay, I'm being a little dramatic. It was
just,
like 4.
just a lot.
Not a lot.
Just a lottle.
No. Okay, so, and then you'll need to fill out your bracket starting with the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I'll need to make sure that I get it updated. So I guess after this
Yeah.
recording, we'll
Yeah, because I've got
kind of make sure that it is correct.
Yeah, because I've got mine here, but I also filled out versions that were just like the correct ones up to this point.
Yeah, you've got your guess that you're keeping up with, and then the one that is actually happening, which like I don't see a lot of red X's. So
Woohoo! Yeah, no, I actually on the men's tournament guessed the first round completely correct for the East region, which is insane. And then I got one wrong for the Midwest region for the first round, but I was this close to picking the team that actually won for the one that I got wrong.
gotcha.
I was like, dang it. So yeah, no, that's not terrible. And then of course, like over on the other half of the bracket,
It is a little more Christmassy.
yeah, it's a little more red. But I did pick at least one upset correctly. And then
Now, okay, clarification.
Yes.
When you say upset, is that one where like everyone's really wanting this team to win, but it ends up being like this, or?
So they go in with rankings 1 through 16 in every region. And usually if the lower seed wins, they call it an upset.
Which one?
The lower one.
Gotcha.
So if you have like a 8-9 matchup,
and 8 or 9 beats 8,
Yeah.
then that would be considered an upset.
kind of, but for that one, since they're so close, a lot of times they're not considered
you're more talking about, if I understand correctly, you're talking about like if it were to be like 5 and 10, but 10 beats the 10 wins the game.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So like for Memphis, Colorado was a 5-12 game, or Memphis, Colorado State was a 5-12 game. And so 12, Colorado State actually won. So that was an upset. And then Drake beating Missouri. Drake was an 11 seed and Missouri was a 6 seed. So that was also kind of an upset. Although there are some of these that like with their rankings, they'll be upsets, but like there's a bunch of people who would have picked it a different, like would have picked the lower seed anyway, because of the way that they have played going into the tournament over the season, just their styles of play and the way they match up. I know that the Missouri Drake game was one that was commented on, like, we don't really know who's going to win because it could go either way.
Right.
I picked Missouri just out of like hope because I thought that they would be a better matchup for Tech. But Drake won, and that turned out not to be too big of an issue. So I'm okay with this.
Right.
And then so Tech won that game too, and I had picked them, so I'm still okay on that part of the bracket. However, if you have a team that gets knocked out fairly early and you have them going to the Elite Eight, to the Final Four, that can really kill you. Because, like, I picked Clemson over McNeese, and that was the one that I was so close to picking McNeese, and they actually won. So that was an upset that kind of killed me, because based on my pick of Clemson, I went through and I was matching up. I was like, well, I think that based on their stats and what I'm reading about their style of play, I would think that Clemson could beat Purdue. But because Clemson didn't win that first round, I got the second round wrong too.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
That's why it kind of like waterfall effect.
Yeah.
So there were a couple games like the Auburn. There was one. Auburn Louisville got tight a little bit to start a little bit, and then Michigan Texas A&M. So I, for example, picked Yale to upset A&M. That did not happen. So Michigan was playing A&M yesterday, and it got to be a very close game towards the end, and I was very concerned that I was going to get that wrong because I picked Michigan to win that matchup. Luckily they did. They came back and actually got their stuff together. But yeah, that's what's part of the whole like madness though, is because you have these teams that come in and you've never really seen them before, so you don't know necessarily how to game plan and who to game plan for. You have an idea based on film and stuff, but I mean, anything can happen. Like
True.
It's a 1-game tournament, so if you have somebody who has a bad game and they're 50% of your offense, you better find somebody else to pick up that slack. So that's kind of, it's fun. It's frustrating, but it's also fun.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, fun. That's the word. That's the word. So.
Just everybody's like excitement about it is what kind of just like, oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. No, I get that. So, all right. So
your Pokemon
punishment.
Okay, yes, your punishment is you have to watch one more game.
Just one more game, and then that's it, and no more.
No. You
gotta watch your wording.
Okay, it's one more game this weekend, whatever you want to call it. So you have to watch 2 Sweet 16 games and an Elite 8 and an Elite 8 game. La la la, words are hard.
Well, yeah, whatever they're like, almost like alliteration. Yeah. So okay, I have to watch 2 Sweet 16 and 2 Elite 8. Okay.
And don't forget to fill out your brackets.
Yeah. I will. I will have to do that.
Yes.
So, but okay. All right.
And if you watch any of the women's, those count too.
I still need to like fill out that bracket too.
Yes.
So, but okay. Now the other challenge.
Whoop whoop. I don't know anything about this kind of stuff, so, or well, not. I don't know much about Pokemon, so I can only ask so many questions.
You are fine. So, do you remember what my goal was supposed to be?
Well, I know the end goal is to have all of them.
Yeah, but like what my goal was for this episode.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I've been a little distracted.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Just a little.
Really? Okay. So, my goal this one was supposed to be 3 badges, and you gave me the handicap of a grass type that had to be on my team.
Yes.
So, I'll show you the team in just a second, but this is my progress.
Oh, that is much different than mine. So are you like trying to do all of these make a full circle?
Yes.
So you've got 4, 5, 6, 7 badges?
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So now time to show you my team.
Okay. And
I'm going to do it this way. So if you go up and down, you'll be able to go to all the different Pokemon
Okay.
that are currently on my team.
So you have, I'm going to butcher these names.
It's okay. Do the best that you can.
Togekiss.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Colossal.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. A lot of them are puns.
He's got like a Queen Charlotte Bridgerton head thing going on.
It's actually supposed to be the coal that he carries.
Well, but it looks like some of her wigs.
Just
saying.
some.
Well, it's more like towering and cone-like than some of hers because they'll go out the other way at times too.
Honestly, it's the one thing about this, like Pokemon's design that I'm not the biggest fan of, but still a good mon.
Inteleon. That's the one. That's the one I wanted you to. You named it Randall. Yay!
I did name it Randall for you.
Yay! Ferrothorn. So is that like an iron? Okay, yeah. So steel and grass. Okay, that makes sense. And then Corviknight.
Yeah.
That looks evil.
Yeah, but they're actually like, they're not evil. They're definitely like more territorial, especially with those that, or like with people that can't protect themselves. So like they're great around kids.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're also the birds that are used for the taxi system in Galar.
Okay.
But not in Paldea because they get shot down.
Oh, that's not good.
No. There's a Pokemon that will go out of their way just to shoot a Corviknight down.
That's rude.
It's
the game,
gimmick.
but it's rude.
It's its gimmick.
Machoke. Okay.
Can't evolve it.
Can't evolve it. Why?
Because it's a trait evolution.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I really wanted to put in the effort, yeah, I could trade it, get him a champ, and be done.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah.
Okay. And then we're back to Togekiss. That thing looks like...
It's an airplane.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, whee, I'm happy and just content.
Well, no, it is a
It says fairy.
Yeah, it's a fairy, but this is one of the Pokemon that don't come out unless like it is a happy environment kind of situation.
So like not a battle.
They really like prefer places of peace. So yeah.
So why are they on your team? Why are they on your team?
Because it's a good mon.
It's a what?
It's a good Pokemon.
Okay. I'm just
No,
I'm like, if you don't want to put it out in a battle, then
well,
doesn't make
no,
sense to
like
me.
the ones in the wild.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
the ones in the wild.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So like the ones that are on your team, like the only way you can get a Togekiss is if like your Togepi, its first form, has like a strong friendship bond with you.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
like my Pikachu that'll jump up and down and smile at me.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you see the little dancing that's happening.
It's weird dancing, but yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's fine. I'm used to that.
So, but yeah, that's basically, yeah.
So you have met your Pokemon goals. Congratulations.
Yes. I've actually met 2 goals for this one because the goal that I was supposed to have for the next episode was 6 badges.
So you can take a break.
Well, I'm honestly just trying to get this done since we are about to move.
Right. That makes sense.
So
you're not worried about doing that too.
Yeah. So like the first week that we have like the keys might be a little hard for me to do the basketball games because that's when we're going to be like packing and also trying to get some painting done. Because then that weekend is when we're going to be moving.
Sounds like you should make sure that you complete your assignment so that you don't get assigned to watch all of the Final Four games.
What are you going to do for the next episode? Because like that's going to be done before like the next episode.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'm not as this is not as like able to punish you situation as mine was, and I just want you to watch some sports with me. So
with you.
yeah.
With
well,
you.
okay. Watch sports and then be able to converse with me about it. What's the difference? I did offer to watch the tech game with you. You were like, no, I'm gonna food prep and do all these other things, and I was like, fine.
Yeah, because I should have like done it like hours ago. If I had actually done it hours ago, then yeah, no, I totally would have been down. So
Yeah. Okay.
but because Brandon was lazy.
Yep, that happens.
Yeah, and then of course, like the picture that I showed you, yeah, that was very
That was a sad day.
very discouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but all right.
'Kay.
But that's been our. I guess we'll call
Challenge
this
check.
challenge check. I guess we're gonna have to make this like a permanent part of the podcast. So
We'll see.
we'll see. All right. And
That's it.
back to
Our friends.
yeah. All right, and we are back. So we are now going to go into our trivia game. So Jen, Aaron, since this is going to be your first time, this is basically how it's going to work. I'm going to tell you a category, and that is when you actually get to decide whether you want to work together or separately. If you work together, then as long as one person gets the question correct, then it's going to be 1 point for everybody. But if you work separately, then if you get it right, then it's going to be 2 points. So any questions about that?
No, I think I got it.
All good.
Yeah. Okay. Because, like I said, Bri, it's been a while since we've done one of these. So, and this is kind of one of the main things that we wanted to do when we started this podcast is have a trivia game each episode. But it's kind of hard to do a trivia game when it's just one person asking the questions to another.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Unless it's a punishment, then you really enjoy asking me questions.
yes, 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 I do. But that's only if you don't meet the goal. But that's a whole nother conversation. So, here are your categories. We have U.S. presidents,
Oh no.
animal, banking, ace.
Is the place with the helpful hardware folks?
Thanks. Now we're gonna get in trouble with them.
it'll be fine.
She didn't sing it. It's not a jingle.
Yeah.
It's just a statement.
Yeah. They're helpful, okay?
They are. And then the last one is solar system. Now, here's the thing that Bri always hates is that one of these is always going to be a Pokemon question.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Which one? You will never know. Not till we get there. So, but we're going to start with our U.S. presidents.
I have suspicions because I don't think it's this one.
We're going to start with our U.S. presidents. You'd be surprised.
I would love to if somehow he made every category turn out to be a Pokemon one.
I think he's done that before.
I think I have, actually. So, but, all right. So, U.S. presidents. Are y'all going to be working together or separate?
I'm not great at it.
Just work all together for the first one and
Yeah.
see how that.
We'll
Sure,
see how
yeah,
it
let's
goes.
do that.
Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
Now, I will also let you know that the winner of this little trivia game is actually going to put a handicap, I guess is the right word, on my Pokemon challenge that I'm currently doing.
Okay.
So, All right, but your U.S. president's question is, who was the only future U.S. president to serve in combat during World War I?
Oh, crud.
Gee, I am
So that
not
que-
a history person.
that
I'm
question-
staring at Aaron
so when
tell
none of
me
us
who.
get this, what is that 0 points?
It's 0.
Right,
it's just 0.
Okay, so World War.
Is it?
So he fought in World War One and then became president.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
Oh, I'm so bad with dates.
I was gonna say, is Eisenhower too late? I think he was a World War
he's
II.
World War II, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in World War II and then became president. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
who's
1915.
before him?
Yeah, 1915, 1916, and then later is what you're looking at.
You look at me like I have
Yeah,
any
I'm-
clue.
Man,
you know who-
that's too far back. Yeah,
Came before Eisenhower. Can we walk backwards with you?
no, there's not.
Like
Far enough.
Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah, right. Yeah, there
George
you go.
Washington.
The number of presidents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Because Roosevelt's not, because that's like New Deal and
Right,
and
right.
like Great Depression and
Yeah. And I don't think he was in World War One.
right.
Who was immediately before Roosevelt?
I only know.
I love how y'all are like naming all these presidents that y'all know
Right.
didn't fight in World War
Yeah.
I.
Right.
I mean,
That-
but
you-
there's like
the
how
fact that
many
I
of them we
elimination.
can? Yeah.
The fact that I know he's a president is the extent of my knowledge.
I was like in middle school, I had to write a thing about a Coolidge, so I know he didn't.
Right.
There you okay,
There
yeah.
you go.
That is one that I
Man.
never remember as a president. Was a
Right?
president.
I was like,
so.
the only reason I know
Oh.
is I had to write a paper.
Right.
I had to like memorize the first 10
Can
because
we
of my
phone a friend?
unfortunately not.
Man,
Is
we're
there
bad,
a timer?
right? I mean, Roosevelt's going to be the closest one.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
So we're doing Roosevelt?
We're going to say
Sure.
Okay.
It was not.
Which
was-
Roosevelt?
I'm writing FDR.
Teddy.
Oh.
It was definitely not FDR.
Okay,
I was gonna
so
say
we're
It
writing.
would have been
Teddy?
Teddy, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who I was thinking was Teddy.
I don't know why that one escaped my brain, but it did.
I don't know how to spell Roosevelt.
Well, remember, it doesn't like spelling doesn't matter.
It did have two.
Yeah. Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
I just, yeah. I'm not familiar with him, therefore he gets a full first name, Theodore.
Oh, that. So proper, so proper. Well, unfortunately, that is incorrect. It is not Teddy Roosevelt. It's actually Harry Truman.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. I it was not.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I could gasp like I knew it, but I didn't.
Oh, darn.
That was my second guess.
I was
Yeah.
so close.
All right, so we've got 0 points on the board for everybody.
Woo.
Now it's
Strong
time-
start.
Oh, yeah, very strong start. Y'all are doing great. All right, it's now time for our animal category. Do we want to work together or separate?
I'm okay either way.
I was like, we could try separate, see how it goes this
Yeah.
time.
Let's go separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah?
go separate.
All
I'm
right.
less scared about a general animal.
All
It's going to
right.
turn out to be the Pokemon, though.
Yeah.
What insect's name is Spanish for little fly? What insect's name is Spanish for little fly?
Why can't I remember what little is in Spanish?
Well, and I can't really like help because it's going to give the answer away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron, it looks like you've got an answer ready.
I wrote something down, but I don't think it's right. But
Well, don't show it yet because you're
it's
the
a
one.
100% guess. But,
Well, you never know. A random guess could be it.
right.
I've got one in my head, but it's not an insect.
I think that's a big part of the.
Yeah, exactly. I remembered at least one version of little,
Right.
but now
So you,
I don't think
keep
that's right.
saying what I think little is in Spanish, and I'm like, nothing is coming
See?
up.
See?
Nothing
Yes.
is coming up.
Oh,
she thinks she remembers. Don't show it yet. Don't show it yet.
I'm not.
All right, well.
It's staying below the table.
Nothing is coming up, so I'm just going to
Yeah?
write something.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Aaron, show first.
All right.
All right. We've got mosquito, Bri, Mosquito.
Yeah,
And then,
I didn't know, so I just wrote a B.
well, unfortunately, B is not correct.
Okay.
It's the Ito.
But it's the Ito. There you go.
That's right. So
Because
that
I
is-
kept going pequeño.
I
Pequeño.
kept going Paquito. It's like it's very Paquito. Yeah, but I was focused on that being at the beginning. I was like, I don't know what that is.
All right. So currently we have 2 points for Aaron and 2 points for Bree. So let's see how this one goes. It's now time for our banking question. Are we going to be doing together or separate? Aaron's
Jennifer's my banker, so or my bookkeeper at least. Yeah.
Like just bookkeeping. Like I don't. Yeah.
I will say this
Banking.
one. I will say this one. You will at least get a list of choices.
Oh, okay. Multiple choice. So
So-
together?
Sure.
Let's do together.
Yeah. All right. We're doing together. Do.
Like High School Musical.
Oh no, I can't do
Don't
that.
do it.
No.
Nope.
Sorry.
I almost did it.
Copyright.
Yeah. Don't want that fight with Disney. Bank of America, Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, or Wells Fargo. Fifth in the world, what's the largest bank in the U.S. by total assets?
Okay, wait.
Yeah, no, I'll say it again.
So the question is.
Of those choices,
Okay.
what's the largest bank in the U.S. by total assets? And it's Bank of America, Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, or Wells Fargo.
So if we all pick something different,
Somebody should be right.
Yeah, no.
so which one of those isn't?
Yeah.
And y'all are working together, so you don't have to hide your board.
I
Right.
feel
So the
Because-
choices were Bank of America, Citigroup.
Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, and
And
Wells
Wells Fargo.
Fargo.
I think it's JP Morgan
me
Chase.
too.
That's-
To
I'm
be
like
fair,
95%
I
sure.
don't think it's Bank of America, so I feel like we could leave that one off. But yeah, I feel like it's Morgan.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, it goes against our pick one for everybody, but
Right.
So we're all doing JP Morgan Chase?
Somebody needs to do Wells Fargo just in case I'm wrong.
Okay, fine. Here.
Okay, so Jen
I was
is
like,
gonna
I
be
already
Wells
started
Fargo.
drawing my
Right.
circle or my
I was
box.
like,
Okay, so we got 2 for JP Morgan and 1 for Wells Fargo. And the answer is JP Morgan Chase.
Woo!
So good job. That is 1 point for everybody.
I'm at least on record saying that's
Right. Hey, you're on. You've got points now, so that's
Yeah.
right, but I
You're on
can't
the
win
board.
if I don't do a separate one.
Yeah.
good. Strategery.
Yeah. So, all right.
Oh, I gotta erase it.
I mean, you don't have to. It just gives you more room on the board.
Just keeps crossing things out, and keeps writing
Right.
all over.
I've
All
done
right.
that.
So this one is going to be a true or false, and the category is ACE.
Is that an acronym or is it like?
No, ACE.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the word ACE.
Okay.
So separate or together?
You want to try for your separate?
I guess so. Since I don't know what it is. but-
I'm going separate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going separate on this one. So true or false? In Generation 1, Brock's Onyx knows a rock type move.
Shoot.
True or
This
false?
is not the right kind of Pokemon question.
How is this ace? I don't. I guess I don't understand
Ace
the category.
spec.
No, Ace is because Onyx is Brock's ace Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Again,
one
I try.
more-
I have to
right.
hide it.
Right. One more time on the question. Brock's what?
In Generation 1, Brock's Onyx knows a rock type move.
For the whole generation or like initially?
Initially, so like
Okay.
in red, blue, green, and yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
I wrote something.
Oh, we got answers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
might
right.
as well.
Sorry.
It's
Okay, because I
either-
saw hers.
either
So.
true-
Yeah.
All right. So Bree is saying true. Jen is saying true, and then Aaron is saying false. All right. Let's see. The answer is false.
Dang it.
Only knows normal type moves. It's actually Screech. Oh, I just looked at this.
Ha ha.
Screech, tackle, bind, and bide.
Oh,
See,
Yes.
My problem is that all the Pokemon knowledge I have is either from watching the show with my kids or playing the card game. But I haven't done
And all their moves or whatever their card is.
Yeah.
So.
Right. That
Yeah.
may or may not correlate with like
actually
the video game.
Yeah.
No, some of those card game names get very creative.
Yep.
Very creative. There's one Pokemon called Licky Licky that all its moves have to do with licking,
Oh,
and some of them
that's
sound
a little strange.
Some of them sound very inappropriate. Very inappropriate. So, but all right, we're moving on to our final question, which is our solar system question. Are we going to be doing this together or separate? I will say
I
right
vote
now.
separate.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta be separate if I have any chance.
Well, I will say that the points right now are Bri is
I have
3, Jen has 1, and then Aaron currently has 5. So, all right. So we're doing separate again? Mm-hmm. All right. Your solar system question is, what is the 4th largest planet in our solar system? The 4th largest. Looks like Jen's got an answer.
4th?
C.
Okay.
Bri has all the planets listed.
Well, technically, it's just the first letter.
I mean, true, but you made a list of all the planets to help you like figure it out.
Hmm.
Man, I'm trying. It's gonna be something dumb. It's gonna be like Earth, and you're like, no.
That's not a planet.
Okay, I have an answer.
All right, so we got an answer for Bri.
It's like I built enough models. I'm hoping that
Right?
I'm remembering correctly.
I'm going for the funny.
You're going for the funny.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. All right, so Jen,
Neptune.
we've got Neptune. All right, Bri,
Uranus.
Uranus, and then we're going with Uranus for the funny reason. All right, so Jen, you got it right. You got the 2 points. It is Neptune.
I was like, it's one of those two. I just can't remember which one.
All right, so that ends the game. So, congratulations to Aaron with 5 points.
Snaps, claps, all the things.
Right.
Even though it sounds like rain. So, but yes, congratulations, Aaron. You won just by 2 points. So, I will.
It's better than one.
Eggs.
Yes. So now you get to choose what handicap for my Pokemon challenge. Right now, the only handicap that I have is I have to have a grass type on my team. This is Pokemon Sword.
Pokemon Sword. Man, I'm with Jennifer. I don't know enough about the
See,
games.
I know a little bit about the newer ones because the kids have played them and I watch them play.
Right.
But
I'm
that's
gonna
the
phone a friend and ask Quinn, hey, what would be the most annoying thing?
I mean, he's just
He
like
played that one.
yeah.
Which one is so
That's
Sword? You have
Zacian
Zacian
and, Zamazenta.
Zamazenta,
Yes.
yeah. Oh man.
it's Galar. It's London or the UK.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's the Wooloos and the.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. You have every idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know all the things.
Man, what? Any suggestion or any ideas of like some challenges that have been done before? I don't watch enough of the games or anything. so-
Well, I will tell you some of the stuff that we've done to Bri since those were more
Oh, see.
punishments.
There you go. Okay, so,
So-
what do you
Yeah.
want some retribution?
So yeah,
let me
make
know.
Make him catch you're going to catch everything anyway. That was the plan.
No,
Transfer
no.
them all. What were you going to do?
No, the end goal is to beat the game so that way I can get the type null at the like post game area, so that way I can send it into Pokemon Home.
So how do you make that difficult?
You can only
beat the
play
game?
from midnight to 6 a.m.
Joke's on you! I wake up at 5:30.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's only 30 minutes a day.
You can get a lot done in 30 minutes, especially with where I'm at in the game.
I was about to say, unless you're me.
so how far are you already?
I'm about to go beat the 8th gym.
Oh, okay. So,
So-
he's close to
almost
the end.
done.
Jeez.
I know.
So
It's been
he has
2
to play the
weeks.
rest
I know.
of the game.
Blindfolded.
By memory.
By memory. Yeah, I'm not that good.
Because the only challenges I know are Nuzlockes, and
Right,
that's
right.
sad.
Yeah. I've tried. I failed so hard.
Is there a move that? Sorry,
No.
Is there a move that he
Super
should have to have?
effective. Yeah, or not have.
I mean,
You
well,
can-
you also have to like know what moves there are in the
Right.
game, and also like what Pokemon I have.
Right.
To be able to
Yeah.
make a call.
So you're about to go into the 8th gym?
I'm about to go into the 8th gym.
He's got to beat that gym with a monotype team.
No potions.
Oh, no healing items?
Yeah, there you go.
Healing items.
Okay. Like just for this one gym?
For the next gym, zero healing items.
You think just for the gym or for he's almost to the end of the game?
I was gonna say yeah, from here on out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
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 No healing
I mean,
items.
it's not my challenge, but
I like this.
No healing
I like
items,
this.
yeah.
Okay.
so other than going to Pokemon Center to re-heal after a battle, but no items.
No items during
So no items during the battle, but between battles is fine.
Yeah.
well, so no healing items. So you're done. You can't buy them anymore.
Well, that's bullshit.
But like you said, you can go to the nurse and heal in between battles. So it's a lot of running. But now because that'd be like nothing. They can't hold. None of the Pokemon can hold the items that heal. And you can't use any like potions and elixirs and stuff. You can do status condition clears.
You're mean.
So like a full heal, but you can't use a full restore.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay, so all
Or
my
vice-
healing.
yeah.
So all my current healing items and berries, because that's the only other way Pokemon can be healed.
Yeah.
I guess I need to sell. Okay.
Or just put it in your backpack and no use.
I mean that's true,
Yeah.
but then it's the temptation
Yeah,
because
right.
it's there. So the only thing that I think is going to be the hard thing to do is to prove that I'm not using it because not streaming the game.
okay, yeah.
So because I don't have that technology.
Scout's honor.
It'll have to be.
Yeah.
Which funny thing is, I actually used to be a Boy Scout, so
That's good.
So it means something.
it does,
Right.
unfortunately. So, but that is it for our episode. Thank you, Jen and Aaron, for doing this and letting us be here after hours. It's exciting.
Sneaking in, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having us.
It was fun.
So, like I told y'all, this episode is going to be posted on April 4th. So, is there anything that y'all want to announce that's going on just so that way our 6 listeners can know about it?
No, well, we will be hosting kind of our gaming section that like kind of similar to what we do at LubbockCon at Yellow City Comic Con, April. Oh my goodness,
11th, 12th, and 13th.
Yeah, so coming up pretty quick. So we'll have
That's up in Amarillo.
Up in Amarillo.
Okay.
That's
so,
the Yellow City Comic Con.
Gotcha.
so
Okay.
check us out there, and then.
Well, and then,
just normal tournaments and stuff.
Yeah,
Check
our
out
calendar
website,
on our
yeah.
website. We have a Facebook page, the calendar, and the Discord all post up our events and calendar and stuff. So if there's a game that somebody's looking to get into, there's probably an event coming up, and
There's probably someone that they can meet and talk about
Yeah.
it here. Like,
and if there's not, let us know that your favorite game is whatever, and
Yeah.
we'll work with it.
so we will put your socials in the description, or if you're watching on YouTube, we are going to have it displayed there. You're not going to be able to click on it, but you're going to be able to at least see it, so that way you can go to the Stormcrow website, Discord, however you want to go, so that way you can get in contact with, if it's not with Jen and Aaron, it'll be someone here at Stormcrow, or just one of the random patrons that like come and camp out here.
Yep.
So, but other than that, anything else that y'all want to like?
No, that's it. Bear with us on Pokemon.
Yeah,
Pokemon card games are they're out everywhere.
It is a
Yeah.
very
So-
frantic, when stuff comes in, everybody's after it. And so we're trying our best to get as much to as many people rather than giving it all to one person type thing. So
Yeah.
we just ask people to be really understanding and patient that supply is what it is. But
Yeah. Which, by the way, I do need to talk to y'all about something that I know might help get more VGC players. I don't know.
Nice.
We'll talk about that
Yeah.
after the recording.
Yeah.
But other than that, Bri, where can they find us?
We are on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram at BBL After Trivia. Don't forget the After Trivia. You'll get some not us results.
Yes, yes. You will find other shaped things. So, but yes, and if you have a question that you want to shoot out to us, you can always email us at bblaftertrivia@gmail.com. If it's a question that you want us to try to answer for our own little trivia, just put trivia in the subject line. If it's a fun fact that you want to share with the world or the 6 people that listen to this, put fun fact. And then if it's a question about the show, just put FAQ and we will read it here on the podcast. I promise we will read it here on the podcast. We haven't gotten any emails, so please.
Come on, you 6, you can do it.
Yes.
Please. Brandon needs some emails.
Yes, I need something to do because I don't have enough. But other than that, before I close this out, I will say on the next episode, we are going to be doing 2 talks about 2 shows. Because we didn't do one on our last episode.
Yes.
So we have to make up for it. But with that, I've been Brandon.
And I'm Bri.
And again, thank you, Jen and Aaron. I will definitely see y'all again in the future. But until next time, bye.
See ya.